This is the No Swear Gamer, and you're listening to two dudes in a nest from the Smoky Mountains and whatever else he says. Uh, yeah. So, sorry.
All
It's
right.
been a long time, and not all of my stuff that I typically record with is working. Surprise, surprise. But we're back, baby.
Yeah. After a long drought.
Yeah, and you know what? We're coming back. Guess what game we're coming back with?
Not a game.
Yeah, not a game at all. But Rockin Kats is in the hopper. Rockin Kats is in the hopper. But I didn't want to. So this is my fault. I didn't have the game played enough to cover. But we'll get to it. But I didn't want to
Right.
keep delaying doing the podcast. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it's easy to not do it when you have stopped for a long time, but if we can get back in the swing of things, I think we'll be fine.
Right.
So I just want to go ahead and sit down and record something so we can get back in the habit.
Right. So let's get our reps in, as they say in the business.
Right, exactly. We got to get our reps in. We got to get good and buff so that when we do talk about Rockin' Cats here, like the next week or so, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be the best
Ready to go.
best podcast you've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's going to be huge. Can we still make those
Huge.
jokes?
I think so. I think it's more appropriate now.
Okay, cool. Sweet.
I think Trump's just going on like podcasts now.
Yeah, well, more power to him. He might as well just, he can say whatever he wants now, right? It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, he said whatever he wanted to anyway. Right. I heard Rogan had invited him on, which would just break everybody's brains.
Oh yeah.
If that happened. But
it would probably be a pretty good interview. If Rogan does a good interview with just about everybody, if you ask me.
yeah, I mean he really does.
So it would end up being the internet would break. At least half the internet, right?
Right.
Maybe the whole of it. I don't know, but I'd listen to it for sure. Do you think Spotify would allow it, or did they get all nervous?
I would. They'd probably get nervous, but I think they'd let it go.
Yeah, I was actually, we haven't talked about anything in a while, as far as discussing stuff like this. But I was kind of proud of Spotify, the way they stood up for, of course they had to put their money where their mouth was, right? Since they spent so much money on Rogan.
Well, and it's also, I think Neil Young, and I'm sorry for all the budding Neil Young fans that listen to this podcast, but it's kind of like, who cares, right? I mean, they showed that like Neil Young got less listens in a month than Joe Rogan gets per episode. So it was like pretty easy decision on Spotify's. Okay,
Right.
Neil, just let us know when you put it back on, when you want us to put it back on there.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny.
We'll be over here.
You and I were texting as it was going down, and it seemed like every other day a new artist would be like, "Well, take my stuff off too." And it was like we were texting like Spotify is looking more and more promising. All this stuff coming off that I never wanted to listen to on accident. Neil Young's gone
all these
now.
artists that nobody cared about.
Barbara Streisand. Or
I'll be honest. I mean, there's probably like 3 Neil Young songs that I like.
Yeah,
but that's about it.
There's a few good ones. I like Hey Hey My Mind's pretty good. If that's the I don't
Harvest
know if that's
Moon's
the
a
name of
good
it.
one.
Yeah.
Harvest Moon's probably my favorite of his, but that's, to be honest, that's like the only one I would probably like miss.
I would really miss Cortez the Killer if Dave Matthews didn't do like a million times better version of it that's still around,
Yeah, so you don't even need it.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
But yeah,
but it's like, I don't know.
I will say, we can continue to talk about this. I just want to get this all the way right off the bat before we get too deep. Like I said, listener, we're not talking about a game this episode. So if you want to bail out now or stick around. There's no telling what we'll talk about. We don't have an agenda. It could go off the rails very quickly. Yeah. It probably has already gone off the rails. So yeah, feel free to bail out. There may be some game talk. I mean, we may discuss video games in general, or maybe some stuff that we've been playing, but we won't be talking any specific games. But I'm a
Right.
little, I just want to get that out there. So yeah, moving on. Go ahead.
Yeah. If anybody hears a crunching sound, I'm just finishing off my bag of Cheetos.
Mm.
That
Hey, what's your opinion
so
on real quick tangent? What's your opinion? Just
mhm.
talk about Cheetos. You've had children. What's your opinion on like the little Gerber puffs? Uh, I can't
Yeah,
like,
I mean they're just Cheetos, but they're worse,
yeah, they're like worse
right? I
Cheetos,
don't like them.
okay, but yet I can't stop eating them. Like we'll open
Well,
a new can because Scott wants some. He'll have like three or four, and then I'll finish the can off. Easy.
I like to call this situation the Twizzlers Dilemma. And
Ah,
it's a food dilemma, a Twizzlers dilemma. And I was actually talking to my oldest daughter Leah about this the other day. So the Twizzlers dilemma is I don't like Twizzlers per se. If I go to a store, I've never in my life bought Twizzlers or gone to a store thinking I need to get some Twizzlers. But if there's if I'm like at work and there's like a candy bowl and there's just the only thing that's in there is Twizzlers, right? And I got a little sweet tooth moment, I'll eat the Twizzlers, right?
yeah,
So it's an availability thing, right? So
right,
you're just like, well, I don't really like these. I'm not going to choose to eat them, but they're here. So I'm going to eat
right.
them.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, that's what's going on here. I mean, it's like I don't have Cheetos because we're not. He eats the
Right,
puffy one, the little puffs instead. Um,
right.
but they're there. That is a problem. Let me tell you about our candy bowl at work. Okay, we have a candy bowl at work. It gets filled up fairly regularly, which is bad for me. The worst thing though is one of my favorite little treats is a York peppermint patty. I don't know. I just love them. I don't know why. Um, but
Oh, they're so good.
yeah, I know. But guess what? Nobody else at the office likes them. But they were part of like the package that they buy to fill this candy bowl.
Uh
So
huh.
the candy bowl will empty out, and there'll be like four or five York peppermint patties in the bottom almost daily. It seems like
Just waiting for you.
just waiting for me, and I'll give it some time. I'm like, well, maybe somebody else will get one. An hour goes by. I'll
Yeah.
pass by the bowl. Still four of them sitting there. Come 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I walk by the bowl. There's still three or four of them sitting there, and I'm thinking, dadgummit, I'm eating these York peppermint patties.
Yeah. It's over.
So
Really, York peppermint patty is an underrated candy. Um, they are delicious. But you know what? I think that the York peppermint patty actually is better in the fun size than the full size.
oh, I agree totally.
One of the few candy bars that like they just is hands down actually just better in the fun size.
It is actually pretty fun.
So
I agree.
yeah, I agree. Yeah.
There's something about the ratio of the peppermint to the chocolate in the fun size that just works a lot better than the full size.
Wasn't it York peppermint patties the one that had the commercial? It was like you bite into it and all of a sudden you're like talking about it or something. He take you to like some really cold place. Was
Maybe
that the one that
I was thinking that was like some kind of gum commercial. They may have done it too. Maybe
maybe it was like us? Yeah, yeah, I don't remember, but it was some candy, and I want to think it was York, but maybe not.
could have been.
Uh,
I remember a gum commercial
yeah,
doing something like that too, though.
maybe, yeah, yeah, or maybe it was like Eskimo pies. Uh,
I love me a good Eskimo pie
um,
too.
I know that's an underrated ice cream. It's an
Yeah, for
Eskimo
sure.
pie.
Hey, you know what's an overrated ice cream? Amber loves these. She just loves them. But to me, it's totally overrated. Those Magnums, you know what I'm talking about? It's basically like a brown cow,
Oh,
but it's like a
no,
really fancy, expensive brown cow.
wow,
Uh,
yeah.
it's like
Well,
for a box of
you had me in
four,
brown.
it's like $4 or something.
Yeah. Why don't you just get the brown cow? The brown cow's good.
I
Nothing
don't
wrong with
know.
the
Well,
brown cow.
she likes the white chocolate one, so it's like a white chocolate. I mean, it's good, but
Mm,
it's for the
yeah,
price and stuff. It's just really overrated. The white chocolate, it almost tastes like those Lindt truffles or whatever. They're like little circles with like a hard outer shell and really
yeah,
soft, gooey chocolate on the
yeah.
inside.
I feel fancy when I eat one. Like I
Oh
should be
yeah.
having a glass of wine with it. But got one of those.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like that in ice cream form. But for
Yeah,
me, it kind of
yeah.
feels like it feels like I might as well just be eating one of those Lent truffle things. I'd get just as much enjoyment, only it's not cold.
Yeah. Those are pretty good. Somebody got this for me for Christmas. Just a bag of them, and if I'd had them before, I couldn't tell you. But they were really good. It's like one with like a little bit of salt. A little bit of salt on candy is like just takes it up a notch.
Oh yeah, for
Really.
sure.
But I'll tell you an ice cream that I to just blow our minds and meld the world of candy and ice cream and say the thing that I could probably eat. There's always those things that you could eat until you literally explode. Like you could buy a box and eat the whole box.
I've got a lot of those. Yeah.
Snickers ice cream bars.
Oh,
The
okay.
Snickers ice cream bars,
Hmm.
for me, are just like I could eat those things until they're just so good.
Man, yeah, I feel like it wouldn't take very many of them to make you pop either. Sounds very filling.
Yeah, yeah. Well, basically, it's like I don't know. Not really vanilla ice cream. I don't know what the ice cream is, but it's kind of like a nougaty vanilla ice cream, and just caramel and peanut covered in chocolate.
So they
But
basically do they take this? I've not had one. Do they take the Snickers bar and like take the nougat out and put in ice cream in place of it?
ice cream. Yep,
Hmm.
that's exactly what they do,
I feel like I'd be really disappointed in that
and
because
it's amazing.
the nougat's like my favorite part.
You think, but it's just really good,
Hmm.
really good.
Well, I'll give it a
I'm a
shot.
big fan.
I'm a pretty simple man when it comes to ice cream, though. Like the thing that I could eat probably an entire box of and have recently is just like an ice cream sandwich. I just love ice cream
Yeah,
sandwiches, you know. And
you know what I like
the
though?
vanilla ice
I
cream sandwich
actually
is really good too.
I like the chocolate on chocolate,
Oh, the ice cream
the
sandwich?
chocolate ice cream sandwich. Yeah,
Yeah, those are pretty good too.
yeah. That
Yeah,
was my favorite.
I like the chocolate on chocolate. I also like the vanilla on vanilla. Those are good.
Yeah.
I don't like mixing
Remember,
my chocolates and my vanillas. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
you
no.
know,
That's not what I mean.
um, most overrated candy, Neapolitan.
Yeah, it's just a
That's
waste
not
of.
candy. I mean, ice
It's
cream.
ice cream. Yeah, it's just a
Yeah,
waste of. It's a waste of strawberry ice cream, basically.
yeah,
Because I'm not going to eat it. I'm going to
yeah.
just eat the chocolate and the vanilla.
Remember
Although,
how awesome it was to buy ice cream when you were in school? Like, I guess it was like middle school when that started. I can't remember if we had it in elementary school.
we had it in elementary school.
You could
Well,
buy
we
ice
did.
cream at lunch.
We went to separate elementary schools, but we had it in elementary school. Ours was a little bitty cup with a wooden spoon. You remember those?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It came with a little
Yeah.
wooden spoon. I remember Mom would always send me with. I think they were only like a quarter to buy them too. So you send me with an extra. I'd get 50 cents
Right.
a day
Yeah.
or something like that. One quarter went to milk, and the other quarter went to ice cream. And it's just this little circular, little tiny cups, and you had to eat them with a wooden spoon.
Yeah. Yeah. That was classic. But they also had like the Nutty Buddy and the ice cream sandwich.
Oh yeah, that may have been later.
Um,
I didn't have that in elementary school for sure. That may have been middle school.
yeah.
Was it
Anyway,
John? Was it John who always used to get the or slapper bags? I'm sorry, who always used to get the Nutty Buddy bar? Somebody used to always get Nutty Buddy bars.
it was him. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was him.
I figured it was probably him.
Always brought his lunch. And then in high school, he just stopped eating lunch.
Yeah, he'd just go play
He
basketball
only
instead of
he
eating
played
lunch.
basketball.
You would think
So
that would have
that
made him a star or something, and he went on to play ball in college or something. But nope,
no,
not slapper bags.
no.
He still plays
So
basketball.
yeah,
Never amounted to
yep.
anything. But oh well. Yeah, he's better than me, so I can't really talk. But yeah,
But anyway, we started this conversation with Cheetos. So my neighbor works for Frito-Lay,
ooh,
and he brings us some extras, like the fun size bags. Uh, so we sometimes have a good little collection of chips in the house.
do you have do you get the mistakes? Do you get like the Cheetos that look weird? Well, I guess all Cheetos kind of look weird.
No, it's the real deal. We don't have any of the mistakes. He's more of like the distribution,
Gotcha.
yes, part of Frito Lay, not the
So
actual production.
he's technically probably not allowed to give you these things. He's probably part of his shipments. He's supposed to be taken to the local gas station, but
Right, right. But so let's just edit that out.
yeah, all right. You do realize I don't do that, right?
Right, I know.
I didn't know if you forgot that I don't actually edit, but
No. The edited out was a joke.
yeah, I know. Before we get off food, there's one thing that just popped in my mind. You're talking about getting stuff at school. I will say I have searched high and low my entire life, ever since high school, for a cookie that could beat the cookies that our school cafeteria had back in the day, and I have yet to find one. I am probably
Yeah.
what am I 20 years removed from high school now, and I have still not found a cookie that could beat those cookies that they sold in the high school cafeteria.
Those are definitely good. Those are definitely good.
It really kind of stresses me out a little bit, but
Have you had though? Have you had insomnia cookies?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I have. No.
They
Let me.
come in like a pizza box. Like they sell them in a pizza box. There's the only one in Knoxville is on the Strip.
Okay, no, I've not had them then. And I guess I should.
Yeah.
I guess I should preface that I'm specifically talking about macadamia nut cookies because there is a better cookie, in my opinion, in general, and that's the Ham and Goodies lemon cookies. But
Well, yeah.
I mean, they're in a
And
league of
actually,
their
all
own.
ham and goodies cookies are actually good. I think we talked about this before, not on the podcast, but um, I've had the ham and goodies snickerdoodles and sugar cookies, and both really, really good.
I just can't unless somebody gave them to me. I just can't see myself getting anything but the lemon. But,
Well, that's another neighbor perk that we have is that we have the people across the street are related or are friends with like the people that are managers of ham and goodies. So they give like some extras out. So that's
okay.
how I even come across
Wow.
trying it. Otherwise, you know, I would be in the same boat. I wouldn't purchase anything but the lemon cookie.
Gotcha. So are you like 300 pounds now? It's been a while since I've seen you.
Well, we don't get them that often.
Okay.
But if we did, yeah.
Speaking of 300 pounds, or not 300 pounds, but gaining weight or losing it or whatever, I've been so one of the reasons why we haven't done the podcast is because I had been struggling to continue to try and pass that stupid licensing exam, which I have passed it now. Congratulations to me.
Yay!
But, so I'm good to go. I don't have anything else to do other than just keep up with my like development hours to keep the license. I don't have to take any more exams. So I'm done with all that. So good to go there. But anyways, that being said, I've also like totally neglected any exercise. I've neglected the podcast. I've neglected any kind of dieting or anything. I've just been going all loosey goosey for the last year or two, basically. Of course, having a toddler helps with that. But I'm going back into the no sugar, no grain type diet. And I'm curious. Last time I did this, I went to my doctor and he was like, your cholesterol is really high. So you need to do
Right.
something. You need to do something about that. So I'm curious what's going to happen because the past couple years since I quit, my cholesterol went back down, and it has been no problem since then. But now that I'm going back into it, I'm curious when I go back I think I go back in May, if there's enough time between now and May for my cholesterol to spike again. We'll see. It's always a catch 22 though with this doctor of mine because he's super strict about like being overweight. Like so I'm 5'9". Right now I'm probably like 160, 165 pounds. I'm maybe slightly overweight, I guess. But
yeah,
anytime I get over 160, he's like, you need to drop a few pounds. And I'm like, really? I mean, I'm 5'9", about 160, and you think I need to lose weight? I mean, I don't feel like I need to lose weight. But no, he's like super strict on that. But I always struggle to lose weight if I don't do this kind of like no carb diet, basically. So, like my body will if I cut out the carbs, it'll trend down to like 150, and I'll sit around 150. But the second I start eating any kind of carbohydrates, of course, my problem is when I do eat carbohydrates, it involves a lot of sugar. So I do realize that I have that as a fault. But usually, anytime I start eating carbohydrates, like I'm heading towards 170, and so I don't know. Like regardless of exercise, it's just the way my body goes. It's weird.
Right. It's I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that. And what the cholesterol means. Obviously there's like correlation with people that have higher cholesterol have heart disease, but then it's like you have to have some kind of predisposition to like atherosclerosis to even for those elevated lipid levels to be a problem. So I don't know. It's difficult. I don't know that when being worried about 160, I don't think is much of anything.
Yeah, I think that's probably just a scare tactic or something. I don't think he's not real serious about it. He's just like, I can tell I've seen him 4 or 5 times now. He's a good doctor. I like going to him because he didn't really beat around the bush. He's just like, this is this, this is this. You know what I mean? But I can tell, like, every time I've been there and been over 160, he's always like, how's your diet and exercise? Huh? It's just be good. It's just good to keep track make sure you're keeping track of your weight, that kind of stuff. And when I'm under it, the couple times I've been under it, he's just been like, looks like you're doing pretty good on your diet and exercise. So keep it up.
Right.
It's kind of subtle, but I picked up on it.
Right.
Right.
Hey,
Anyways.
give me just like a minute break. Okay. I got to go do something real quick.
Okay.
All
right. I'm assuming, I don't know if Justin's still listening or not, but I'm assuming he's probably pooping. That's what I would do if I needed to. I don't know. A minute wouldn't be long enough for me to do that. We'll see how long it takes. We'll time him. Should I just stop the podcast and we'll come back? Yeah, we'll stop the podcast and come back. I'll play. You guys want to hear a song? I'll play a song right here. Hey.
You there?
Yeah, we're back. Right.
Sorry about that. I had to go finish or fix a electronic.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. The kids are on spring break, so they're up late.
Yeah, mine's on spring break too. He's not up late though. Yeah, cool.
Do they do spring break in daycare?
They do, actually. Unfortunately for us.
That's kind of a pain in the butt.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's a weird daycare. It's a daycare at a school. It's kind of like they treat it like a preschool kind of thing. I don't know. It's kind of, not complicated, but yeah, it's a little bit different.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. So, anyways, I told people you went to poop. I just assumed that's probably what you were doing.
Yeah. No, actually, not this time. No Carl pulling.
Yeah, that's all right. Based on the time it took you to come back, yeah, definitely not pulling a Carl.
Yeah. Speaking of Carl, is he pulling any Carls here lately?
I don't know. He's pulled the ultimate Carl. I haven't talked to him in probably 2 years, really.
Oh, wow. That is the ultimate Carl.
He's pulled about the biggest Carl you can pull. Yeah.
Ah. Wow. That's kind of shocking.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. The combination of the pandemic and everything. I text him every now and then, but he's pretty short. He doesn't like texting, and I don't want to call Carl. That's weird, right? Just to call him and see how he's doing. That'd be weird.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I've texted him a couple times. He's pretty short with me, so I was just like, yeah, whatever.
It's also a very Carl thing to not like texting, you know?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a very Carl move. Carl's kind of like a he's if I see you in person kind of guy, you know. He's like, yeah, I'll hang out with you in person every now and then, but don't call me, don't text me.
Yeah.
This is also not the first time he's just kind of disappeared for a couple years. If you'll recall, kind of right outside after high school, he was just kind of gone for about 3 years, and we just never really hung out with him. So
yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't seen Carl in like a long time.
Yeah, actually, Amber saw him not too long ago. He and his wife were at First Watch eating breakfast, and she was going with her mom for, I don't even remember what it was for, her mom's birthday or something back in February. She saw them out there. So she's seen him since
First Watch action.
Yeah, a little First Watch.
Little fancy First Watch for Carl.
Mm-hmm. They were celebrating their anniversary, I think. Yeah, that makes sense because they got married like middle of January or something. Amber's mom's birthday's in early February, so that works out. That's probably what they were doing.
Yeah. Well, I've never been to First Watch.
Oh, really? It's good. It's like fancy pants breakfast, but it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, fancy pants breakfast is good every now and then, but you can't beat a good Waffle House.
Right. Yeah. No.
I think Waffle House is the game. Is the game. It's never disappoints.
I mean, it's always the same somehow.
Right.
It's never great. It's not stupendous.
Even the tried and true Cracker Barrel will disappoint you every now and then.
It does. I've been really disappointed in Cracker Barrel lately. First of all, the biggest disappointment is last time I was there, they got rid of the ribeye upgrade. That's not a thing anymore. So yeah.
Well, that is a disappointment.
That's a pretty big disappointment. Yeah. At least the one here in Lenore City wasn't doing it for whatever reason. Yeah. So they can't do that anymore. So that's out. Not that the ribeye was ever very good, but it was better than the sirloin or whatever. The
sirloin.
And steak and eggs is just such a good breakfast. But anyways, so I've been a little bit disappointed in Cracker Barrel lately. But I still, you know what I've switched over to? Believe it or not, when it comes to Cracker Barrel, I've just, even with the exception of actual breakfast time, I've switched to some of their other foods, like just some of their good country cooking. I really like their chicken and dumplings for one. It's really good.
Yeah. Their chicken fried chicken, which I feel like chicken fried chicken is just like gilding the lily a little bit, calling it chicken fried chicken. Like, yeah, we get it. Like, you don't have to call it chicken fried chicken.
Yeah.
It's fried chicken.
Right. But it's really good fried chicken.
But it's really good, yeah. Speaking of cholesterol.
Yeah. Is fried chicken bad for your cholesterol? Anything fried is bad.
Yeah, saturated fats. Yeah. Probably really bad.
But so good.
Very good. The saturated ones are the best then.
Well, I mean, what do you want? What do you want? Unsaturated? That sounds dry, right?
That's true.
Who wants dry chicken?
That's true. Yeah. But I say we bring back the trans fats, you know?
Yeah, what happened to trans fats? I ate a lot of those back in the day, and then now they're gone.
I was thinking about a joke, but I don't know if I should tell it. It's not. It's just a play on words. It's not a joke. When I go with this, it's just a play on words.
Well, I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm not editing. And usually, if you think that you shouldn't say something, you probably shouldn't. But go ahead. It's up to you.
Well, I was just going to say, I was just going to say, like, look, everybody's worried about being transphobic nowadays. Like, let's just bring the trans fat back, right? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking you probably shouldn't have said that joke.
Well, now we're going to really have to edit this.
No, it's not happening. No,
well,
I'm sure it's fine.
I'm just saying.
I mean, we've always been transphobic, right? When it comes to trans fats.
That's true.
That's why they're gone.
That's true. Yep. Banned.
Well,
so
that's okay. I really don't understand what trans fats are or were. I just knew they were bad, and we had to stop eating them. And I guess they don't break. Your body doesn't break them down or something. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with them.
And so one of the problems with saturated fats is your body doesn't break them down as easily, but it can break them down.
Well, I mean, sounds to me like if it has trouble breaking them down, it's working harder, probably burning more calories, right?
Yeah, there you go.
So that means I'm eating more saturated fats.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
I can't. My cholesterol is really high.
Oh, well.
My cholesterol was really high recently. Yeah.
Well, I guess you probably should watch out for that. I don't think mine was over. I don't even remember what it was. It wasn't super high. But it was weird. It was kind of weird looking because like parts of it were high and parts of it were like really good. Like the triglycerides, whatever those are. They were like really good. It's like whatever they're supposed to be. They were like perfect. But yet I had high cholesterol, so it kind of threw me off.
So what affects your triglycerides more probably than anything is your carb intake.
Oh, okay.
If you were on a low carb diet at that time, then you probably were good.
Yeah, then that would make sense. So they're probably really bad right now then, because I've been on a carb frenzy for the last 2 years. Eating a lot of candy.
Yeah. You know what's really bad was when they bring out the birthday cake at work. Then you just gotta eat it. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So where I work now, of course, obviously, it's different than where I used to work. Where I used to work, birthdays, whatever, nobody really cared. Nothing really happened. Now, basically, everybody in the office, if it's your birthday, it's cake, donuts. So pretty much every day there's something. It's like happy birthday. Oh, there's 3 people.
It's just a forever birthday.
Yeah, 3 people have a birthday this week. You want to combine it into one cake? Nah, we'll just have 3.
Cake every day.
Yes, it's bad. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And a buddy of mine who worked there tried to warn me. He said, "Look, you're probably going to gain 5 to 10 pounds easy, and once you start working here, because there's constantly food,
constant cake and donuts."
Basically, constant cake and donuts. Which, hey, speaking of, in town, there's a donut place in Maryville that you have to try. I think it's Richie Cream, I think. Have you tried Richie Cream donuts?
I've heard of it, but I've not tried it.
Go try them. They're basically, just as far as a regular glazed donut goes, the best. Better than Krispy Kreme.
Oh, really?
Hands down.
Oh, wow.
They're awesome.
All right.
Side note.
Check it out. Speaking of birthdays, tie this back into some video game action. So my daughter, who just turned 7, she wanted to have her birthday, which it's been kind of bad because her birthday, she's been robbed of a birthday 2 years in a row due to COVID.
Right.
And then, this year was like the first year we were actually going to have a party. And so she wanted to have it at this place that in town that's called Bitburger. And Bitburger,
Okay.
it's a burger restaurant, but they have like old school arcade games there.
Oh, all right.
And
That sounds
so,
fun.
yeah. So we were going there, but it's a really small restaurant. So basically we had like too many people, family and everything. And so they were like, well, you could go down here, sister restaurant. It's owned by the same people, same food. The catch is a bar. And, you know, but kids can go there up until like, I don't know, whatever the cutoff time was, 10 o'clock or something like that. They're like, okay, fine, we'll go up there. It was a bigger place, but it's this I think it's called Token,
Yeah,
it's basically a barcade we
I've
talked
been
about
there.
before.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, but it was a pretty sweet place. I mean, it was the first time I'd been there. They had a lot of cool old school games that the kids enjoyed. But my youngest two daughters really enjoyed the fighting games more than anything.
Oh,
So they had Killer Instinct, which we played a lot of. That's a blast from the past.
yeah. I honestly don't think I've ever played Killer Instinct in the actual arcade, only on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah. I don't know that I'd ever played it on the arcade until that night. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. But they really specialize in pinball, and I've never been a huge pinball fan. And that night, I was like, I'm just gonna try it out, and I had a lot of fun playing pinball. But my favorite pinball machine there was an Iron Maiden pinball machine,
Nice.
and it played Iron Maiden songs as you were uh, playing, and it was pretty darn sweet.
That is pretty sweet. I do like pinball.
Yeah.
Obviously, our brother Aaron Hickman is more of a pinball guy than most of the rest of us, I think. But yeah,
Yeah.
I like a good game of pinball, especially if it's got a unique kind of twist to it, kind of like the Iron Maiden one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm looking at some pictures of this Bit Burger. I didn't realize it was. I guess I didn't realize it was. You were saying Bit Burger, as in like Bit Brothers. Did you wear your Bit Brothers shirt to go?
I 100% did wear it
Nice.
that night, but unfortunately nobody really paid any attention to it. So,
Wow.
but I did wear it.
Oh well. I've been to Token though. Yeah, we used to go there for sometimes after work. Back before it was dangerous to do anything outdoors or out in public. We used to go there after work every now and then, and just have some beers and play some games. Did I ever tell the story about beating that guy at Blitz over and over again?
No.
Anyways, yeah, that was one of those trips. We talk
So that
trash
happened
at Token. Yeah, we talked trash for leading up to it, and then so I thought I was going to get some competition, but lo and behold, no competition. It's hard to beat me at Blitz. I played speaking of throwback to Carl, he's one of the only ones that could ever stand a chance beating me at Blitz.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty good.
I remember the game that I could like not be beaten at was I don't remember what year it was, but it was one of the Tiger Woods PGA Tour games.
Oh, I remember. I didn't even like playing it with you.
It was like I would let you remember my old room, of course you do, but Dan, I would like let him like get a lead in the first 9 holes, and he would like actually think he was going to beat me, and then I would just come back and like eagle every hole on the back 9. and beat him, and he gets so
That's one of
mad.
my favorite things to do to Dan. He was really good at being the guy you do something like that to.
Mm-hmm. Let him think he's going to win and just annihilate him.
Yeah. You know what? So it's funny, Dan. So we've never talked about Dan before, but Dan was your roommate the first year of college, and he was also a friend of ours in high school. But Dan and Crabman, this is a story that nobody's going to care about, by the way, that's listening to this podcast. But Dan and Crabman both became ninjas together and took to Taekwondo. And there's a lot of similarities between them and their attitudes. Like, Crabman is also the kind of guy that you could do that to and get a real kick out of.
Right.
Because he's like, they both get really agitated, but they're also really nice. You know what I mean? At the same time.
Right.
So.
Right. I just remember when, we would do something like that to Crabman. Remember how his I think Dan did this too. It was like their voice, the pitch of their voice would rise really
exactly
high when they get aggravated.
That's what I mean. Dan did it too. He would do it. Anytime they get frustrated, it's like they just turned it up an octave. Yeah, it's so funny.
Man.
I haven't seen Dan in a while. Actually, I saw him a couple years ago, but I haven't seen him.
He's back, and he's in town now. He's like a professor at UT.
I know. He's a professor of like animal science or something. He's got a PhD.
Yeah,
he did a lot more than me in life. Of course, you and he both. Everybody's doctors now, except for me.
Speaking of Crabman, he was like him and his son famous. Then they're like at that baseball tournament, that college baseball tournament.
Yeah, I knew they were
on the field and everything. Did you see it?
Yeah, I knew they were going. I didn't see it. I'm not really on Facebook anymore, but I saw some pictures that Amber showed me and stuff. That looked pretty cool. Like Elliott was tagging along with the UT baseball team there for a little while. At least for that game, that trip for sure.
Yeah,
I don't even know exactly what it was. Was it? It was a trip to. I know they went to Texas, but what were they doing? It was like a tournament.
Yeah, it was like a classic, or it wasn't really a tournament. There were just several teams there, and they played each other. But Tennessee was down there, and I don't really know. I don't know the backstory on how they got involved in it. But
I think it had something to do with the Shriners, because Elliott was so not this past year, but the year before, like the year of COVID. Elliott was he was like the Shriners poster child or whatever.
Yeah.
And so he was supposed to get to do all kinds of stuff like that, but they pretty much canceled everything because it was COVID. Yeah. So he didn't get to do hardly anything, and so they've been kind of like letting him do stuff after his tenure as the poster child. So I think it probably had something to do with that.
Yeah. Well, I know all the listeners who know all these people we're talking about are really intrigued in this conversation.
There's nobody left. It's just us. It's just us.
Yeah. I guess if you've been studying for this test, you've not really been playing any video games lately.
Not too much. I've just recently started getting back into them. Of course, I passed the test about a month ago now, or took the test about a month ago now. So in the last month, I've kind of just been decompressing, but I've tinkered a little bit. One game I've been playing a decent amount is the new Forza 5. It's pretty sweet. Of course, I love Forza. That's not really a game a lot of people talk about because it's not. I don't know. It's the same thing every year, right? It's just a car racing game. But I know a lot of people like it. I really like it. This one's set in Mexico, so it's pretty sweet. Every now and then, of course, I have to wait till Scott goes to bed and all this stuff because he can't play video games yet. Every now and then, I may break it. He'll watch me play it because he likes cars. So maybe every now and then he'll watch me play. But anytime he try to limit his TV time. So we maybe play it for a little bit. But even when we do play it, I don't get to race. He just wants me to just like drive into water. He says, he yells out, find some water. And so I have to just go find like the ocean or something and drive my car into it. So it's not like I'm actually enjoying myself. We're just driving into water. Or he'll want me to climb a mountain for whatever reason, which that's fun. I like climbing the mountains. But I don't get to actually race whenever he's watching me.
Yeah.
That game's pretty fun. That game's pretty fun. What about you? Have you you guys dug into anything?
No, because I've been really busy at work here. They kind of transitioned a lot of the way we do things, which has just turned into working a lot of long hours. So, a lot of the things that I was doing like 2-3 months ago, I basically have not done any. Like, I haven't touched the guitar in a couple of months. Basically anything. But it's things are lightening up a little bit now. So hopefully I'm going to get back into it. Back into doing some things like that.
Yeah, speaking of guitar, I will say in the little bit of free time that I have had, I've been working on finishing up a new album.
Yeah.
So it actually should come out this summer, I think. If I can get
if
I can get all the mixing and mastering finished up. So
yeah.
I know everybody just loved the last one that I released. I had so many listens on Spotify and stuff. It's funny. I thought it was pretty good, but it's funny. The last one I released, we also used for our Christmas special, if you'll recall.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And the Christmas music has way more listens than the actual songs do. So I'll be curious. I've got the instrumental versions of all the stuff I did for this album. If we want to use them for the Christmas album coming up, we can, and probably get more listens on that too. So we'll see.
Well,
but yeah,
I think it'd be good. We should have a good Christmas album this year. We haven't done one in, I don't know, it's been 3 or 4 years. I guess
it's been 3 or 4 years. Yeah, 2017 is when I released that last album. I think maybe it's 2018. I think it's 2018. So it's been 4 years probably. So we need to come back with a bang.
Kid Rock had a new album.
Yeah.
The funniest part, the best part about Kid Rock's new album is when Weird Al came out on Twitter and was like, I appreciate all the kudos for the new Kid Rock song that I did, but I'm sorry, that is actually Kid Rock.
Yeah, Kid Rock, he has gotten to the point where he is just parodying himself, and it's bad. It's bad. It really disappoints me too, because I really like his band and like some of the stuff that they do and some of the music.
Yeah, his earlier stuff is really good.
Yeah, his earlier stuff.
I mean, me and you
good.
went to his concert one time.
His concert was awesome.
When he came. Yeah, his concert was great. But here lately, he's just kind of like this. I don't know.
He's pandering. And that's why it's fine. I get it. I mean, it's probably making him lots of money, but
yeah, but it's just lazy,
It's lazy. Yeah, it's lazy writing. It's pandering to a certain type of person that's probably making him a lot of money. So whatever. But it's just it sucks because I really have liked him in the past.
To bring you back to Joe Rogan, I was listening to Joe Rogan's podcast. I think it was Ron White, and they were talking about visiting the house that Kid Rock is building in like Michigan or wherever, and they were talking about how it's like everything it's like so stereotypical redneck. It's like everything that you would expect Kid Rock's house, mansion, whatever to be, is like exactly what it is.
Nice.
Just trashy, like rednecked out,
That's funny. That's
mansion.
funny. He lived in a trailer, like a fancy trailer there for a while. You remember that?
Yeah,
I guess
yeah,
maybe it was while he was building his mansion or something. He just had like a really fancy trailer on a huge plot of land. He just kind of lived in it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh,
That is, yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Yeah, I never really realized
yeah,
he was such a redneck until lately. I don't. And I thought at first I thought he was just jumping on the bandwagon, trying to
yeah.
be a
Just doing
redneck.
like a little.
But I don't think that's the case. I think he genuinely is just kind of a white trash redneck
Yeah,
that struck it big.
or he's just leaned into it so much now.
Yeah, maybe he's leaned into it so much that he's just kind of become. It's just kind of it's who he
Became
is
that.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that
Speaking
happening
of
too.
leaning into to, to something to until you become it. Remember when we would go watch that Led Zeppelin cover band, Zoso, and it was like I'm pretty sure these people think they're Led Zeppelin at this point.
Yeah, they
Like
did.
they just think that.
They did, and they never played any of their good songs. If you ask me.
Yeah, it was always, like, if
Remember
you're
that one
Led
time
Zeppelin,
we saw them, this was the worst one ever. It was because sometimes we would see them when they would open for somebody else, and it'd be okay because they'd only have like 20 minutes.
yeah,
But when there was one time we saw them, it was their concert, and we went to go see it. I assume we had nothing else to do because I guess Zoso was kind of Knoxville local, weren't they, or were they bigger than that?
they were. I don't know. They were in Knoxville a lot.
Well,
So
yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
anyway, yeah, they were here a lot because I remember we saw them at least 4 or 5 times. But there was one time we saw them, and I don't know if they were just really wanted to be Led Zeppelin really bad, or they were on drugs themselves. I don't know what the deal is. But there was at least a good 45 minutes when they did not play a single like song. They just
Yeah,
fiddled around. The drummer had like a
yeah.
20-minute drum solo, and then they had
And then
this
they brought out
weird,
that stupid wand.
yeah, whatever that. What was that? It was like some kind of magnetic noisemaker or something, and they played
Yeah,
with that for 45 minutes, and it was just terrible.
yeah.
And then
No, I
maybe
mean you can get
they
away
played.
with that. Like if you're Led Zeppelin, if you're Led Zeppelin, you can get away with coming out and not playing Stairway to Heaven. You can, because you know what, you can do what you want at that point.
Right. But if
You're
you're a
still you're
Led
still
Zeppelin
seeing
cover,
Led Zeppelin.
yeah, if you're a Led
Yeah,
Zeppelin cover band, you kind of have to just play the hits, right?
right. You need to
That's
play
what I
the
would
hits.
do.
Yeah. So,
They were the worst about not playing the hits. They'd play the deep cuts, and yeah, it was not good.
yeah, yeah. So,
What guitar are you playing now? Do you still have your Epiphone, or did you trade it
yeah,
in?
still playing the Les Paul.
Nice. Crabman just recently got a Gibson Les Paul.
Nice.
Little jealous. Although, I was kind of jealous when he got it, but I'll be honest, um, holding it and playing it, I don't think I could do it. It's so heavy and so like
Hmm.
out of balance. Like it doesn't want to it doesn't want to
Yeah,
sit level on your lap. It just wants to fall over. I don't know. It would be struggle for me to play it. Um,
yeah. That's the one thing about the Les Pauls is they are heavy.
yeah, yours was pretty heavy too, if I recall. It's been a while since I've
Hmm.
seen it, but cool. I'm playing. I've got a Fender Strat, with active EMG pickups in it, so it's super hot. It's what I use for metal. And then I've still got my
Yeah,
Schecter, but I have not installed them yet, but I just bought some new pickups for it, some P90s that I want to put in it to try to just get a fresh sound. Um,
yeah,
but I'm painting it to give it a different paint color and putting some new pickups in it, so I'll have basically a brand new guitar. It's just my way of holding off from actually buying a new guitar, I think. But
yeah, yeah,
uh, you know,
yeah. Um, a friend of mine got the John Petrucci guitar. I think it's the Ernie Ball.
yeah,
which is pretty crazy.
I hear the Ernie Ball guitars are pretty
guitar.
good.
Yeah. He's a big John Petrucci fan, which, I don't know if we've got any big Dream Theater fans that listen to the podcast, but there's some songs that I dig of theirs, but I just don't know that I could be a Dream Theater fan.
Yeah, I don't think I could either. So did he get like the $3,000 Petrucci guitar?
Yeah,
or did he get? Oh wow, must be a big fan.
Right? Yeah, no, he's a big fan.
Okay, all right. Yeah. More power to him. I mean, that's God. I could not spend, and maybe if I had a ton of just money to waste. But I can't imagine ever spending that much money on a guitar. Maybe I'm more in the less than 1,000 range. Although I would be willing to go up to 1,000 if I found the right guitar, probably. Maybe a little more.
Speaking of cool guitar, did you know that the Les Paul, the Sunburst Les Paul that Kirk Hammett plays in Metallica, it's Greenie, which is actually I can't think of his name. It's Greenwood or something like that. And
Lee Greenwood?
Oh, yeah, that Lee Greenwood. Yeah, it's his guitar. He bought it from him.
Oh,
so
no, surely it's not actually Lee Greenwood. Lee Greenwood was not in Fleetwood Mac. You know who Lee Greenwood is, don't you?
Oh yeah, damn it, no.
God bless the USA.
Peter Green.
Okay.
It's 59.
And I stand up.
No, yeah, that'd be funny if he was playing Lee Greenwood's guitar.
That's what I thought. I was like, whoa, that is a wild story.
No, but I mean, but to buy the 59 Les Paul standard reissue of that Greenie guitar is $10,000.
Holy moly!
Yeah, and who knows what that thing did? Was played by Peter Green and Fleetwood Mac, and now Metallica. Kirk Hammett plays. Who knows what that thing's worth? It's priceless, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, I would guess into the hundreds of thousands of dollars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that, or more, even probably in the millions. Who knows? Yeah. And I stand up.
Now, I wonder what Lee Greenwood's guitar.
I don't know. I'll be curious to know what he plays, if he plays one.
Speaking of Lee Greenwood, I don't know why this made me think of this, but a friend of mine that I work with, we've been talking about Ray Stevens.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Videos from back in the day. Oh man,
I love Ray Stevens.
I see a bunch of signed Lee Greenwood guitars, but I don't see any.
I don't see him playing one.
What
anywhere.
He plays.
I don't think he plays one.
He just sings.
He's just a singer. I see one picture of him at a piano, but nothing with any other instruments. So maybe he plays piano.
Yeah.
But mostly just a beautiful singer and songwriter.
Did you see where Dolly Parton pulled herself from consideration for Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I mean that's good. I don't see why she would be nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, anyways.
Yeah,
I think she's thinking the same thing. Like, I mean, maybe she's wrote a song or two. Did she write a song for Elvis or something? Maybe.
She even said, like, I've never done a record.
Yeah, she's not rock and roll at all. The only thing I could think of is somebody covering a song by her or something.
But there's been a lot of people get put in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that were not rock and roll.
Right, and I think that's stupid. And I think they should have all done what Dolly did. I appreciate Dolly for saying,
Right.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Oh, this year's includes, which I love Eminem, but Eminem's on the list
Yeah, they
of
have been
nominees.
doing rappers. I guess it's fine. I don't know.
Beck's not rock and roll.
Yeah, he's like indie pop or something.
Yeah. Pat Benatar, Kate Bush, I don't know who that is. Devo, Duran Duran, Eminem, Eurythmics. No. Judas Priest. Okay. Fair. Fela Kuti. I don't even know who that is. MC5. New York Dolls, Dolly Parton, Rage Against the Machine, Lionel Richie, Harley Simon.
Seems like an easy year to get in.
A Tribe Called Quest, and Dionne Warwick. So, like, out of all those actual rock and roll, I would say Judas Priest and Rage Against the Machine. The others, I've either not heard of you or you're not rock and roll.
Right. Yeah, it's dumb.
Whatever. It doesn't, like I said, I'm a huge Eminem fan. Probably my favorite rapper, but still, he's not rock and roll.
Exactly. Yeah, he's not. I don't know about the rapper. I mean, I guess maybe they need their own Hall of Fame. Do they not already have their own Hall of Fame? Hip Hop Hall of Fame or something?
Yeah.
Well, they need their own.
Yeah, just start your own.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, whatever you want to do. I'm not but the problem is it kind of like diminishes the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right? If you put things in it that aren't rock and roll.
Yeah.
But I'm not on the board. Rage Against the Machine would be a good one, though. I figured they were already in there.
Yeah.
Everybody likes Rage Against the
Judas
Machine.
Priest, I'm surprised. I'm surprised Judas Priest is not in there already.
They're overrated, if you ask me. I mean, they don't have. I mean, they've been around for a long time, but they're just really not that good.
They've got some good songs.
They do have some. I know. I'm not saying that they don't have good songs, but in general, they're just not that good.
Yeah.
Overall,
no, I think
the newer album. What was it called?
Oh yeah,
the one that had Spectre on it. That album is really good, though, top to bottom.
Yeah. Which is surprising because usually when bands like release new albums, usually when bands release new albums after they've been around for a long time, they're not good. So it's kind of surprising that it was good.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked. The one that came out in 2018, it's called Firepower. That one is really good.
Yeah,
but it's I don't know. It's like it took them 30 years to come out with something that good.
Right.
Or longer. I don't know how long they've been around. When they get started, the 70s, late 70s?
Yeah, I mean, it was... Because I guess they and Iron Maiden, same time. But Iron Maiden's way better than Judas Priest.
They are way better than Judas Priest. Are they in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I
don't know.
Probably are. I don't know. I'll take it back. Judas Priest, they definitely should be let in. They've been around since their first album was 1974. They're still around, and they released an awesome album in 2018. So I take it back. Let them in. Surely there's at least, I mean, if they've been around that long, there's at least 2 greatest hits albums worth of good songs, right? I would think.
Iron Maiden hasn't been put in.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, I would put them in first, but that's just me.
Yeah. So they were, I guess, up for it in 2021, including Rage Against the Machine was also up for it. And who got in was Tina Turner.
Oh my gosh.
Carole King, The Go-Go's, Jay-Z, Foo Fighters. So,
Hey, I like the Foo
there's
Fighters.
one. Yeah.
I don't know that I would put them in over Iron Maiden, but
Yeah. LL Cool J. Like, some of these people, I don't even know who these people are.
You don't know who LL Cool J is? They
Randy
sing that
Rhoads
song,
got put.
"Knock Your Mama Out" or something.
Yeah, no. Todd Rundgren,
Yeah.
Kraftwerk, Charlie Patton, Gil Scott Heron. Like,
I don't know what the
whatever.
rules are for getting in, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. By the way, my math was way off. 1974, that's almost 50 years. That's like 48 years ago.
Yeah.
So Judas
Did you
Priest,
say? I didn't.
I said 30 something, but yeah. They've been so Judas Priest. I don't know how many of them members are original members, but they've been doing this for almost 50 years, and they still haven't been put in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Well, Iron Maiden. When was Iron Maiden?
I don't know, probably about as long, right?
Let's see. Iron Maiden was 75. So almost as, so actually a little younger, but no.
Okay, you want to hear something that's pretty awesome, actually? So I asked the question, how many of the members are like been kind of original? So Ian Hill been a member since 1970. Glenn Tipton's been a member since 1974. Rob Halford's been a member since 1973. So 3 of the 5 members of Judas Priest that are still original. How do they have they not killed each other by now? That's what I want to know. I mean, I understand, right? People, there's people that are married for 50 years, right? Okay,
right.
But that's just 2 people. You can figure it out. Just 2 people. You start adding a 3rd and 4th guy in there. Yeah, that's gonna get tough.
Yeah.
And the drummer's been around since 1989. I mean, that's crazy.
Put him in.
Put him in.
Put him in this year, but make sure Iron Maiden gets it next year.
Yeah.
Well,
okay. Yeah, I'm getting tired. You want to call it? Nobody's gonna listen to this episode anyways.
Yeah, that's about enough of this.
Yeah, well, we'll get back to again. We'll get them Rockin Kats going. Speaking of
Rockin Kats. Yeah, Rockin Kats next podcast. There may be more talk about Rockin Kats on that episode than this episode, but I'm not going to promise anything.
Maybe that's a pretty big maybe.
Yeah. So
there is a chance we will talk about Rockin Kats a little bit more on next episode.
Right.
But no, I don't know how you feel about it. I know you're different than me. You're working still. I'm the one that's all of a sudden got a lot more free time. But I think I'm good to go to get back in a regular swing of things with doing at least a bi-weekly.
Let's do it.
So here's my promise to the listeners. We're going to go back to bi-weekly. So it's going to start coming. I hope you guys are ready to start listening.
We're back.
We're back. Rockin Kats next, and then who knows? The world. We gotta get all the podcasts in because
we are the world.
From what I understand, the world's about to end, and if we don't go ahead and record these podcasts, then we're not going to make it through.
I know we got World War III coming on, right?
We got to get through the NES before the world goes up in a fiery ball. So,
right.
So we got to get to recording.
Putin's losing it. He's losing it.
That's what I hear. All right.
All right.
We'll just call it there, and until next time, everybody. I don't have an outro.
Good.
But bye.
Yeah, goodbye.
All right, see you.